Sorry, I've been away a while again, but it was for a good reason, so I was slowly coming back to life. The videos that I took before, I was really sick, so I couldn't go outside, and basically the only thing that I could do efficiently was make the videos. So when I do the videos, I completely zone in a different way, so it's meditation. And I've been training really hard, so doing lots of sports and all kinds of, like, I became rather anxious again. Obviously I still can't see very well, and I've been, like, my body's been through quite a lot, and I really wanted to go to the skateboard competition, and I found out about it while I was still really sick. And I decided that I need to book the flight and just hope for the best. So I've been very focused on getting healthy, just getting healthy so that it's then possible to go on holiday. I wasn't trying to get healthy to go on holiday. I wanted to get healthy as soon as possible. And I'm still on sick leave, so I really want to be able to work again. Unfortunately, I still have this optic neuritis, so I sort of have double vision, and when I look at the screen, so lights, my eye sort of hurts, or I can tell that I'm irritating my eye. And so it is important. I live alone, I work, so if I can't work, I can't pay my rent, so there's also that sort of urge to need to get healthy as well. Like real life, like everybody. I don't have a family to go home to. I could go home to them, but like, I'd rather die, to be honest. I can't go back into their oppressive, horrible, petty, judgy house. As well, they're very homophobic, so I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a pretty serious clinch there. Anyway, even if I went to their house, it's not like they would take care of me. They've never taken care of me in my life. So why would, I don't believe them, or I don't believe that they will actually care for me. It's not a safe place for me to go at all. It's like, I actually had to contact a lawyer because they're currently telling me that I'm crazy, even though they haven't spoken to me in years. And I'm trying to make sure that they don't take away any of my privilege to live by myself, because I'm not too sure why exactly they would do this to an MS patient currently recovering from an MS flare-up. Like a 3-pronged approach to call me crazy. Unless I'm crazy, which hopefully I'm not, but anyway, it'd be nice if I didn't have to do that. I definitely didn't want to really mention that. It's just that what I was talking about is that I was away for fun reasons, so I managed to get myself only just healthy enough to go on this, to go see this skateboard contest. And I'm so happy that I did. I'm so grateful. I was just standing there going oh my god, I can't believe I made it here. I had the best time. And so that was the start of my 2 weeks of birthday weeks. It was my birthday as well, and I don't necessarily celebrate my birthdays too much, but this time it was more of a celebration of coming back to life anyway. So making it to the contest was the beginning of my celebration, more or less. Yeah, it was a really fun time. So I'm sorry that I took a bit of a hiatus, or I disappeared for 2 weeks, but I hope that you're happy for me having a good time. I'm still not like I'm still not back in shape. Like I still can't see, I still can't use the computer properly. That's why I'm never answering anything via text. Like it's really hard for me to type in to answer the comments. I will go back and answer them later, I promise. I will do my best. That's why I'm trying to get back as soon as possible, because it's more and more and more. Anyway, I do read them, and if there's something I need to respond to, I will make a video. I'll try my best to do it like this, or I've been doing it like this. I know some of you have noticed already. Anyway, yeah, I had a really hard time physically with this. Like there have been so many things that happened that were absolutely unlucky, and like it's the worst physical condition that I've ever been in. I was like before, I don't remember ever being sick for longer than maximum a week, and that was in very rare occasions. So I'm not used to being sick, I'm not used to getting sick. And I had the MS flare up, and I had to take the medication which makes you feel sick, the cortisone medication. And I don't know if I had I don't know, I really struggled with the cortisone medication. Like, as somebody mentioned as well, like, it's almost like the MS flare is not as bad as the medication somehow, in some sort of way. Like it changes you, and you get high from the cortisone, and you like become a little bit more irritable. And I find it hilarious because I see it in the videos, and I can tell my attitude was a bit different, a little bit more fired up, a little bit more not angry, but like a little bit more like a lower threshold for patience. Or it helped me a little bit in life actually, because to a few people I just went and said straight up honest truth, like without any sugarcoating or anything, which was quite convenient in some cases. Anyway, so I didn't really feel better after the first cortisone treatment. I felt worse so I had it for 5 days, and then for 2 weeks I was sick. Then I went back to Spain because I felt very uncomfortable in Austria for various reasons. Like my family wasn't talking to me, or didn't help in any way, or it's a bit hard to get hold of friends, and like there was a few people that turned away from me that I wasn't expecting, and I felt quite uncomfortable. I felt like I needed to go back home, which was Barcelona for me. So even though I hadn't lived there for very long, I felt more at home in Barcelona. And luckily I went back, and I went in treatment in here, and I got a prolonged treatment, so a 4-week cortisone treatment where you slowly reduce the dose. And that was horrible. It was really bad. Like I really didn't like it because I'm very energetic. So I get up in the morning, I do some sports, I come home, do some work, and then I do some more sports. And I was just flat on the ground. I didn't feel like doing anything. And I was like starting to go like, what's wrong with you? Why are you so lazy? And like, why is everything so hard? Like all I did basically most of my days were just waking up in the morning, trying to do some sports, giving up on doing sports, trying to get some food in me, and then had a miserable time trying to do that because like everything tasted like nothing, and I had to really force the food down me. Like I knew the portions that I eat. I had pre-cooked portion sizes, and I just got through like that somehow. However, then I got shingles. So I only got the shingles because I was in this cortisone treatment. And then like I started with pain, and then I was sort of relieved that it was shingles, not the MS treatment. What I didn't know at the time is that you can also have shingles where you suffer horrendous pain. What made it worse is that last year I dislocated my shoulder, and I know that I did some nerve damage just by the pain that I felt. It was pretty obvious. I didn't have it, well I did go to a hospital, but they never, like I don't think they check for nerve damage, or they didn't for me anyway. And apparently the shingles attacked this damaged nerve. So like I was in this horrific pain, and it started like from the chest in the middle, and it went all the way through into my armpit, and then I couldn't feel my arm most of the time, and then down all the way down back to my spine again, so completely half. And and the shingles, like the rash wasn't a big deal, like I didn't even notice it, but the pain like literally took my breath away. I literally couldn't talk, like I was just like laying on the floor, and and I think I had that for about 2 months, so that was like an added thing. And then I was just about to get healthy again. I was just feeling like I could start doing some sports again, and then I got the flu, or maybe COVID, I'm not too sure now. And then I was sick with the flu. Luckily I caught it early, stayed home early, and I got it straight away from my flatmate, like within the same day. And that was quite a hard blow. So that is just the story about my like physical health, but that was like the negative part. And then I started, after the flu, I started slowly getting healthy, taking it easy, and like then I noticed, okay, now I can do sports every day, so not only every second day. And then now I can do 2 things in one day, which wasn't possible before. Before I could only cook and nothing more, and then I was exhausted. And now I went on this holiday expecting to get sick, really, to be honest, because I knew I was pushing my health a bit, and I was fine. I could see the contest every single day, and so happy to be able to witness it. I came back, and my other flatmate had COVID, and I was like, oh my god, now I'm gonna get COVID. But I didn't. So either I'm immune or I avoided it. It doesn't matter. I was just like, the way that my life is going, I'd probably get COVID. But of course I fought it. Like I wasn't gonna give up to this brief idea. Like I dismissed the idea because it doesn't help. If I say I'm gonna get COVID, I'll probably get it, unless I'm super immune, which I'm hoping I am. Anyway, so I didn't get it, and I was healthy. And then I went to this party. I went to Gay Pride in Barcelona, and expecting myself to, like, okay, now I'm pushing my health too much, and I was fine again. So I think things are finally looking up. I still can't see properly, but like, to be honest, like the only problem is that I can't work, and like I know that if I try and go back to work, I'm gonna make it worse, and like I have to risk losing my job now in order to sort of try and save my health. I think my boss is pretty cool, so I'm hoping that everything's gonna be fine, and who knows, maybe just giving up on it will help me relax, but I don't think so. It's pretty bad still. Anyway, I don't really care about the I in my life. It's just, if I can't work to survive, it's a problem, but I'm sure something will work out in the end, hopefully. And so I still go skateboarding, I go climbing, and I go outside, and I went to a foreign country and took the plane, and so even though I can't see well, and I'm a little bit more anxious than I should be, or I'm just a little bit more nervous. I'm sure it's because of the eye, like everything's a little bit more confusing, a little bit more, it's a little bit harder to tell what's going on. So there's a little bit of, not anxiety, but I don't feel the same when I go somewhere. However, thanks to my mind state, or thanks to freeing my mind of the ego, thanks to living in the present moment, I adapt straight away to the new status quo. So like I just take it slower now. So I'm still doing this, I just take a little bit longer to know what's going on. And I ask my friends where this and this sign is, because it's hard to find the signs and stuff. So, you know, adapting to not being able to see was sort of surprisingly easy. Like I skateboarded really soon, like even though I couldn't see well. And I've been informed that my issues in my brain are in my visual center, so the doctors sort of told me that I may go blind. Actually, they told me I will go blind, which was not the correct thing to say. It's not very not very good considering the placebo effect. But anyway, I don't know why they said it. So I've sort of already been preparing, or not preparing, like it's in the back of my neck. I'm aware that I will lose my sight. So I started skateboarding differently straight away. So I skateboard, like I stopped trying to learn tricks and just learn the tricks that I can do really well so that I can do them without looking more or less. And as soon as I couldn't see, I wanted to test it. And I was lucky to be in my favorite skate park, and there was nobody there, and straight away I could skateboard normal, even though I couldn't see. Like I almost closed my eyes. Like it's hard to judge distance, so I don't know where stuff is. So I just said to myself, okay, you've done this a million times before, you look away when you do it anyway, you know where it is, you know what it feels like. And I just let go and trusted in that instead of thinking about not being able to see. And to my utter shock, it worked straight away. Yeah, like you can't, I don't know how to express how good that felt. Like, that I can still do, you know, the feeling. I love doing it. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure, like most people told me, like, people won't be able to tell by the way that you skate that there's something wrong. And basically, yeah, nobody, if I tell people, they're like, what do you mean you can't see? So like, a problem for my life. So I may have to, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. This is like a little bit like, I've got real life issues I've got to deal with at the moment. Just because it's screaming in my mind, I'm gonna mention it. So I lived in a flat that technically my father owned, but me and my ex-husband bought it off him a few years ago. We never got the written contract, and he told me after the divorce that don't worry, the flat is still yours. So I spent all my money on the flat. I renewed things. I, you know, paid all the bills, and now while I'm in Spain, he called me to tell me that the flat never was mine. And I've invested pretty much all my money there, and that was my safety net to, like, I could have gone back to Austria to get medical treatment there as well, and I could have gone back to Austria because of my job. And they just keep me out of my own flat to put my brother in it, and so I need to deal with that as well, which is not that nice. And the problem being that now I've accidentally moved to Barcelona unintentionally, so I haven't got any of the basic things that you would do before you move to a country. I'm sort of stranded in Barcelona now, but in a good way, because I really enjoy living here, and there's a little bit more freedom, a little bit more open-mindedness. And for sure, these videos are what I'm doing here. Like, I don't just do it on the videos. I go out in my everyday life and I talk to people. Everything always leads to the truth to life. So it's really easy to, whenever something happens, whenever something's going on or any questions are asked, it's easy to get back to the truth to life. Like, it's pretty simple. It's always the same. So I found it a lot easier to speak to people here in Barcelona than I did in Austria. So this is not supposed to be it's not supposed to be saying something about Austrians. It's just more the culture and the society. In Austria, we're very career-driven, ego-driven society. And in Spain there's lots of misfits, a lot of outcasts, a lot of people escaping war-torn countries, and there's lots of open-minded people here that I can talk to. So like the only reason I do it is because I'm trying to find out how I can make myself understood. All I'm trying to say, to put it again, just to end with it, so what I did in my life to change my life so significantly is recognize my own ego as an idea, not as a fact. So when I realized that what I thought I was is only an idea that I never lived up to, an idea that was sort of passed down, pressure from society, from my parents, family. Sorry, I had some technical issues, so I need to just finish the video. And I was talking about freeing yourself from your own ego, which is very important, and that's why I'm going to repeat it. So all I did to change my life from living in the past to living in the present moment was free myself from my ego. So anything I thought about myself, anything that I thought I should be, could be, whatever, it doesn't matter. I gave all those ideas up and decided to live in the present. So ego death was not scary, painful, or whatever people always say it is. It was just giving up an idea. So as soon as I recognized my ego to be fake and like it was actually dragging me down instead of lifting me up. I used to believe in you need to be harsh and criticize yourself to become better. I thought that you need to dream to achieve. I thought that, and all that was a lie. And recognizing that and giving all that up, that helped me free myself. Not help me, that was the reason that I could live in freedom. So freedom from the mind is freedom from your ego. So all you need to do is face your own life, face all the things that you're hiding, all the secrets that you don't want to talk about. That's what you need to face, and it's not that bad. Like, it's going to be there the rest of your life. It's way easier to face them now and end it. And as soon as you do, you can enjoy this freedom of mind, and you can, all issues in your life are easily solved in the present moment. So it's easier to accept things for what they are. You don't believe any bullshit stories anymore. And yeah, it's way, way easier. So thank you very much for listening. And I'll talk to you soon. One love.